everybody, Cindy Utter here. Oh, just getting comfy with my artsy endeavors. And today we're going to work on chapter 2 of my story. Again, this is a new series I've started. I just wanted to show you, I actually went back in after I was done taping, and I used a white pen just to put on here, you know, what these pictures were. Because, you know, as we get older, we tend to forget. So what I did is I went ahead and I just wrote, you know, what these were: Mexico, large family dinner, stained glass, that kind of stuff in there. So we're going to go on to chapter 2. This is going to be chapter 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to use both pages. You know what? As many pages as I have, yeah, I'm going to try to use both pages. So, like I said, this is a cardstock. Now, I'm not sure what this is going to do when I throw media at it, but you know what? We're going to find out. So, let me grab my stuff to get my paints together. For some reason, I'm going with yellow and a couple greens. And let me get this all together and we'll start out with chapter 2. Alright, so chapter 2, here we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a little bit of this gesso down. Like I said, I don't know how this cardstock is going to take this media, but we will find out. And I'm going to start with this green. This is the fresh lime. You know what? I think it'll be just fine. We'll find out, won't we? Come on, move out of the way. Yeah. Love it. Now, it may wrinkle a little bit on me. That's okay, because I know it's not actually, you know, watercolor paper or that sort of thing. But I'm good with that. That's all good. So we're just kind of covering up that paper-looking paper. How's that sound? So let's work on this. I'm going to take yellow. Not that I don't like the pink. It's cool, but not for what I want to do with it. And I don't like the yellow on this, so we're going to take this and back it up with some green. Yeah, no, I probably should have just used the paper that was here, but you know, this is my story and I want to do it my way. So we're going to go with this green. This, I think, is a cut grass. Yes. There we go. Okay. Now, it hasn't buckled that much. It has buckled a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and dry it. And then we're going to talk about chapter 2. Chapter 2 is the day my life changed. So we're going to talk about that day. Not sure how... yeah, I think I'll do alright talking about it. It's been quite a while. A long while. So I'm just adding just more, I don't know, texture, dimension to these. So I want to go back in here with this green. Yeah, I just want to throw some whiteness in here. My kitty cat's meowing. I think she's trying to find her buddy Buster. So we're just kind of adding texture, that's all. Okay, let me dry these up and we'll be right back. Alright, so I got this pretty well dry. It's a little bit tacky, but that's okay. I've got out some Royal Langnickel Artist Paint Acrylic. This is the primary cyan blue. This is the golden teal. I've put a little bit on my palette here. And what I'm going to do is I've got some stencils here that I want to use. The first thing I want to use is just these circles. And I just want to put a little bit of a variation here on this page. Something different. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Actually, I kind of like that better. Okay. Just a little bit of something, something. And for some reason, I am being really, really messy with paint today. I'm not quite sure why, but this is going to be a huge representation for me. And what it's going to be is this blue. This dark, dark blue. And what this is representing for me is this huge wall that this accident created for me. And this huge wall is what does not allow me to do the things that I used to do. And I will explain more about that. If I can get my stencil off. We might have a permanent stencil. There we go. Alright, I'm just leaving that as is for right now. Now, I am going to take this with my brayer and just get some of this paint off here. It's not going to put a wall, which is fine. I just want to clean off the paint. It's actually giving me some of the other colors too, which is fine. Okay, back to the teal. Just going to throw some teal down here. A little bit of blue. It's okay. A little bit of blue. God, you don't want me to start singing. When I think about this day, I think back about, wow. Boy, if I knew then what I know now. But isn't that the way we always are? You know, it's hindsight. We look back and say, oh man, if I knew then what I know now, I would not have picked up this piece of equipment. So, let me get to the point, the story. This is the day. This was August 2nd of 2012, which that date is going to be put on here. Let me dry this up real quick and then we'll keep going. Alright, so I've dried this up. I've got a few things out here. This is it's a silicone mat that you use either to take stuff out of the oven or to sit your hot pots on. I buy them to cut them up and use them as stamps. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. Just want to throw a little bit of these lines and chaos maybe in here. Alright, so what I was saying, this was August 2nd of 2012. What had happened is, I'm going to start back a little bit before this accident, which was 2010. I actually had to have two different discs taken care of. I had a surgery on my back in 2010. It was not work related, so I had that fixed. Everything was fine. I went back to work. I was 150%. So now when I went back to work, what I was in a quality assessment auditor for a large corporation. That large corporation used a lot of equipment in their offices that ran their business, okay? This is called a router. And what I did, see this little guy here? This is not the exact one, but this is a router. What I did is on August 2nd, about, I'm guessing right around 1:15 is when it was. I know it was after lunch. For some reason, I didn't even think about it, and I accidentally picked up this router. When I picked it up, there was a snap, a pop, and my left leg instantly went dead. Excruciating pain. My peer picked me up off the floor, set me back down. I sat down at a desk and I kept working. And I called my surgeon. I said, hey, I think I just messed something up. Can we get in? Unfortunately, because it was at work, it was a workers' compensation accident. So everything had to go through workers' comp. So I worked for about a month. And then it just got to the point where I just could not physically do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. Then began, and I'm just going to give you an idea of what happens. If you've never dealt with back problems or if you've never had a back issue before, this will explain a little bit of it. This is the very base of your spine. This goes down into your tailbone right here. Okay, and you have all these discs in between your vertebrae. Well, what happens is these discs actually bulge out or herniate. A bulge, a herniate, a blown, it's all the same thing. All right? And I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you what my knowledge, what I know about it. So what had happened is, it's called these are my L3, 4, and 5. This is not my MRI, by the way. This is just something I pulled off the internet under images. This is your L3, 4, and 5, which is your lower lumbar. My 3, 4, and 5 look just like this. Unfortunately, due to the whole workers' comp situation, there was a 14-month wait before I could get in to have the surgery, hopefully to repair this so I could go back to work. I went in and I had the surgery on May 23rd of 2014, and by then the damage had been done and I ended up with permanent nerve damage. So with that being said, I'm not sure why I printed this out, just to show the discs. I'm just gonna, what the heck? We don't need that, we don't need that. So with that being said, I just want this part of it. I am constantly in pain. I run a pain level of a 7 on a daily basis. My left leg is still completely dead. It doesn't ever stop hurting. I have learned a whole lot on how to deal with chronic pain since this accident. Let's see, let me think. Like I said, this was August 2nd of 2012. I'm just putting this in here just so that, just to document basically my story and what has happened. I'm also going to be doing some journaling on here. Now when I said I hit a brick wall, to me, yes, this is a brick wall. What this is, let me tell you, to work through a workers' compensation case is one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do. Number one, you have to have patience. Number two, you have to have a lawyer. Okay? Number three, you're in it for the long haul. So anyways, what I want to do is I want to put a date on this. And to be honest with you, I can't remember what the day was. I probably could look back and find it, and I'm not worried about that. This is a Tim Holtz numero clear. I'm sorry, excuse me. 7 Gypsies. I apologize. This is the 7 Gypsies stamp set called Numero. And I want to use these numbers. So like I said, this happened August. You can tell I've never used them before. August 2nd of 2012. So we are going to put an 8. Is there a dash in here? Let's see if there's a dash in here. Me no see no dash. There's that, but I don't want that. That's alright. We can put our own dash in. 8, 2. Let's start with that. From that day on, from August 2nd, I have been on quite a bit of medication for the pain. I use a TENS unit daily. I have pain patches that I can use. You know what? Do I want to do it this way? You know what? No, I want to put it right on here. 8-2. Of 12. Woo! Stop that. 8-2 of 12. you learn a lot about yourself when something like this happens, because right now, when you don't have any problems, I'm not saying you don't have any medical problems. Right now, when you're working and you're living life and you're not, thinking about, oh my gosh, what would I do if I couldn't do this? When you have an accident or an injury like this, it's a huge, huge, huge learning experience. You go through so many emotions, and you go through, you have to process all this. It doesn't happen overnight that, oh, okay, yep, I'm out now and I can't work, so all right, life goes on, let's do some art. It doesn't happen like that. It's a very hard concept, or a very hard situation to learn who you are without your job, without your former life. Previously I would call up my girlfriend, get in the car and say, hey, I'm coming to pick you up, let's go do whatever. I can't do that anymore. I would, call up my sister, hey, I want to go on vacation here, let's go, when can we go? It doesn't happen. You know what? I've got these two cards out here. One of them says, today is the day to remember. Extra special, epic, a new beginning, just an ordinary day, none of the above. And because this is actually a new beginning. It doesn't feel like it when you're first going through this, but it is. And I don't want it just to look white, so I'm just taking my sponge that I had the blue paint on, and we're just making it look a little bit bluer. Just because we can. Why not? Let's throw some teal in there too. Yeah. Alright. So that is today. 8-2 of 12. We got to get our marker out. I'm just going to take a big Uniball or a Posca. This is 8-2 of 12. Okay. Let's take a small one. Today is a new beginning, because the reason it's a new beginning is because I have to learn who I am all over again. Okay, so I need to learn who I am all over again. When somebody comes up to you right now and says, hey, who are you? Oh, I'm Cindy Utter. I'm an auditor for blah, blah, blah. And, oh, yeah, what else do you do? Oh, I play around with some stained glass. And, yeah, I had some in a stained glass shop, many moons ago. And, oh, yeah, and, my husband and I, we like riding motorcycle. We, go out in nature quite a bit. We do a lot of things together. That's who you were, right? Okay, now you want to know who you are. And it's just, I was going to make that into a sticker, but I think I'm just going to tape it down. Now you just have to figure out all over again, okay, I'm Cindy. Yes, I was injured. Yeah, I want to go get surgery and I want to get this fixed. Unfortunately, when the surgery happened, there was no fix to it. It had gone long enough so that there is permanent damage. My left leg is totally dead. There are days when if I do too much walking, it will literally drag behind me. But when you have something like this happen, it completely throws you for a loop. It's so hard to figure out, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm used to getting up early in the morning and taking a shower and getting dressed and heading out the door and grabbing a coffee and, let's do this, and I've got this plan for today. I'm going here, I'm going there. That's what your life was like. My life was like that until this day. Yes, I continued that for another month until the pain just got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. But when something like this happens, it's devastating. Not only mentally, physically, it's also devastating financially. I was always, you know, I brought in money. I brought in a paycheck. My husband works. We did this stuff together. Now we're looking at, oh my God, you know, let's get the surgery. All right, I'm probably going to be out for a year. You know, let's get it fixed. No problem. We'll figure that out. Well, then the more longer it goes, and the more you think about it, and the more you start talking to these doctors, and they start telling you, we don't know if we can fix you. We don't know if we can fix you. We think it's going to be permanent. Then you're like, oh my God, we're going to be without a paycheck. What are we going to do? Then you get really mad. I'm mad at the company. I'm mad at everybody else. Why'd this happen to me? And then you grieve. Oh my God, what am I going to do without my job? I mean, there's just this whole roller coaster of emotions that comes with this. So this day definitely was a new beginning for me. And like I said, the reason it was a new beginning is because I had to relearn all about myself again. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this in here right on that brick wall. I'm going to tape it. I don't know why I just put my taper away. And then I am going to actually do some journaling. So I am sharing this with you. I'm not worried at this point about, you know, if you see it, if you don't. It is what it is. It's my life. There's nothing I can do to go back and change it. But I do want to get some journaling on here, and I want to continue with my story. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that, and then, oops, told you I'm being messy today. I'm getting paint all over everything. Then we'll come back and we'll finish up this page, and we'll go on to chapter 3. But as of right now, we're on chapter 2, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done some journaling, and basically what I did is on this day I picked up it was a between 40 and 60 pound router. In that moment my life was about to change completely. My left leg went instantly dead. The pain is strong and does not change for the rest of my life at this point. The doctors tell me that it is permanent damage, all because of this, and basically because of the router. I was doing my job, showing the herniated discs. This is the date. Today is a new beginning. I need to learn who I am all over again. And what I wrote here is, little did I realize that this day will forever be remembered as it is now. Funny how little dates are remembered until something like this happens. A long, hard, exhausting journey is just beginning. How will I do? Only time will tell. And that was where I was at it on this day. Now, I didn't realize at that point this is what was going to happen, but it did. And I'm just going to turn this over. Because this is chapter 2, alright, so I'm just putting chapter 2 on there, which is, I'm happy with that. I'm not going to do a whole lot more on this because this was just, if I can, I kind of like to forget about this day. So, here we are, chapter 2. So far we've got my story, we've got chapter 1, we've got chapter 2. So I hope you're enjoying following along with this. I say enjoy lightly because, you know, this is going to be a rough process. There's a lot more to come again about the emotions and what happens and the whole 9 yards. But as always, at this point, have fun. That's what life's all about, and happy creating. And we'll see you on chapter 3. Bye-bye.